happy Star Wars celebration to all in attendance and to those watching around the world. There was an Andor trailer leak, Mando Season 3 teaser updates, and more from the 2022 Star Wars celebration. All that and more in here on Chatooine. And welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Chatooine. I am not Star Wars Only. I am Darth Lunga, joined by the Goldman and Palpa Memes. Star Wars Only is on location in Anaheim at the Star Wars Celebration, and the rest of us here are kind of homebound, unable to attend. But I'm back, right? I mean, isn't that something? Hey,
let's go!
We missed you. We had so many topics we knew how much they would matter to you and how badly you'd want to discuss them. But
yeah,
we're glad to have you back.
Yeah. I'm so out of loop on everything. I'm just getting caught up on what's going on with all this stuff here for this stuff. But how have you guys been?
We've been good. I've been looking forward. I've kind of been looking forward to just like today for the past month. I mean, besides that, I've just been doing some other Star Wars stuff, hanging out. But like this is where we grind. Like this next 5 weeks, we got Obi-Wan. Let's go. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's a big thing coming up, and there's a few little tidbits that did come out of Celebration that we can talk about today as well. Star Wars Only, I think he said he may or may not, depending on time, be able to join us, so maybe he might stop in. We don't know, but as it stands, it's most likely it's just going to be us three for today for this episode of Chatooine. So I guess we could start out with one of the first things that came out of Celebration was the Andor trailer. That surprisingly, I mean, from what I'm seeing so far, a lot of people seem to be liking it.
That's surprising.
I mean, there was a lot of people that were not so happy about it. So yeah, it's surprising.
So we have to get into a new rhythm now that Star Wars Only is in here. Am I gonna go first, or you want to start, Lunga?
I had the trailer up and I was gonna play it in the background with no volume, and I lost it, so I gotta. But you can start out.
I've been fairly excited for this show for a while. I'm just looking forward to like the new. This is a fresher take on Star Wars. Seeing the origins of the rebellion, because Star Wars Rebels didn't really do that. Star Wars Rebels is about just a group of people, not the whole rebellion. And even though this show is called Andor, the vibe I got from the teaser is like this is like the rebellion story. This didn't feel like the Andor story. It felt more like the origin story of the rebellion. We saw so many different things. A few things that really intrigued me are the fact that we saw Mon Mothma, see her like in the Senate chamber, which was, I never thought I'd be so nostalgic to see the Senate chamber again. But there was that. And then we also got these like behind the scenes shots of the Empire. And then like there was this one shot where they're on like a round table. And then the guy from Game of Thrones, Qyburn, he's like some sort of a admiral of some kind. I think that was the part I'm looking forward to the most right now. Is just like, is getting the politics behind the Empire and the Rebellion. And since this is a 12 episode season, you really have the time to dive deep into that, unlike the prequels where it was just 3 movies.
Right. So
I'm looking forward to seeing the politics of the Empire and the origins of the rebellion fleshed out in the series. And there's a lot of other things, but Palp Memes, what do you think?
Yeah, this surprised me. So like I've got a good friend who's been amping this up. He's been hyping this story up for a while, Andor. Because when Andor first announced, it was probably at like one of the bottom of my list of excitement. When they announced Andor, Ahsoka, Lando, etc., etc. This was actually at the bottom. But as time has gone on, I'm like, no, this is going to be a good show. And as I'm hearing more about it, this stuff is intriguing me. This trailer, I'd say this is the best Star Wars TV show trailer we've gotten. I mean, the vibe it gives off, the music. If you want to go back and pause at that shot real quick in the forest, like literally a few back, one more, right there. Yep, that one. Their props are AK-47s. I looked at those and I'm like, that's barely a modified AK. It just gives me this different vibe. I'm not sure what's going on in the big white rooms with all of the people in there and they're white. It gave off THX 1138 vibes in a way, kind of just subtly, kind of. I kind of got that. I'm curious on what that's about. I wonder if that's just Imperial stuff and Imperial's their little bases or something. One thing I have noticed, and I've got a friend who's friends with a guy who's actually actively working on this, and I believe he told me 80% of this show is filmed on real sets. 80% of it. He's not even sure if they use the volume technology, maybe on a few scenes. But it's pretty much all being filmed in the UK. It's really cool. It's got this nice different atmosphere. And some of the places they're filming are near where they filmed Force Awakens at a lot. I think it's the forest areas. But so now we know, I believe now that it's going to be 2 seasons, right?
Yeah, they already announced. They already announced that they're going to have the second season. They already greenlit the second season already.
The implication I got was that it's going to be 2 seasons. It's not going to be a third one. It said that this first season is going to be like his backstory on where he came from, whatever. And then the second season, at least the implication I got from the quote was that the second season is going to lead up to Rogue One. And obviously after Rogue One, you can't have an Andor series. So I guess just 2 seasons, 24 episodes total. I'm down.
Yeah.
That's another thing I wanted to bring
And
up. This is going to be the longest live action
Yeah.
Star Wars show. Well, actually, this might be the longest live action Disney Plus show.
Easily. The longest as of
It
right
is.
now of the
There's
major
no Marvel
ones.
show. I haven't watched the
was-
Marvel shows, but I know they're not. more than
WandaVision
6,
was
7
I
not-
brought this up, guys. I brought this up in our DM. Could that be Hux's father?
What's that guy's name?
Brendel
You say
Hux.
it's red hair, but I don't know. That looks
That
like
is
just
orange hair, bro.
I
Maybe
thought
it's
that's
my-
is
maybe
that
it's
not
my
is that
monitor,
not
but-
is that not Mom Mothma?
It could be.
That's why
It could be not. But I mean, her hair looked longer in the other one. I mean, it was short.
Her
but-
hair was a lot bright.
looked-
I mean, then again, you got
Oh no, hold on. It is pretty short here.
Yeah.
that could be. That would be funny
So it
if
could be
Hux's
Mon
father
Mothma.
just shows up though.
And you know what's a cool vibe I got? Like for this one shot, like it's like Mom Mothma is going to some sort of like dinner party. Like I don't know, just seeing that in Star Wars, where it's like there's gonna be some Imperials questioning her, maybe, or like they drop subtle hints that they might know something.
Yeah.
And like if you flash forward a few seconds, she starts like she smiles and then she starts to look a little worried.
It gives me James Bond vibes.
Yes.
That shot of her in,
Yeah.
the vehicle. Is it just me? Like I saw this, I'm like, I'm getting Bond vibes here.
This is what I was getting from this. Because at first, when I first heard about this series, I was thinking about, it's going to be like this gritty underworld kind of thing. But now that I'm looking at it, and I know it's like they're the rebels, right? And even from the original trilogy, it's like, oh, well, we joined a story in the middle of the Galactic Rebellion. That's what's happening, right? But I'm going to be honest with you. The fantasy story of Star Wars always overshadowed that it was a rebellion to me. You know what I mean? It was there, but it just seemed like a plot hook for the movies. It wasn't like, that big of a deal. You see some of the leaders real quick and like, oh, we need your help, and that's it. But this really reminds me of those other TV shows or expanded series we got where you really see the growth of a rebellion and how it comes about and how they overturn this, awesome force that they are. And you get, when you say that James Bond, to me, it's almost Games of Thrones-y almost to me, even in a way, to where it's like she's got her role to play, right? Right. Her role is, even though it's a senator, which is kind of just an honorary position, they don't have much power. But she's got to play her role with the Empire and show her face and be there and do the things like she's supposed to do. But in the background, she's leading this rebellion.
Yeah.
And all these other people behind it are growing, and it really. And this is going to sound so corny. I don't know if you guys are very young. I don't know if you remember in the 80s, there was a TV show called V, where these reptilian lizard, yes, V. It's just the letter V. These reptilian lizard aliens came and said they came in peace and they were our friends, but they were actually trying to take over because they were going to eat human beings. And they formed this rebellion against them and this and that. And it gave me that kind of vibe, but not as cheesy, still in the Star Wars feel. But I think this is actually really refreshing to see this grow this way.
Yeah, I'm with you there. And I'm liking how it's coming full circle for me personally. I know plenty of people who are in the same boat. I've talked to a lot of people about this show where they were originally not very excited for this, but as time has gone on and as more things have been revealed, and especially now after this trailer, they're like, hold on, this is going to be pretty unique. And right before we went live here, Kathleen Kennedy got brought on stage to Star Wars Celebration, and she made it very clear that this show is going to surprise people. She consistently talked about this show a lot. Obviously being a trailer got released, but the way she's talking about it, I can't remember her exact words, but basically she says that she can't wait. She said like, this show is amazing. She goes, I can't wait to see everyone's reaction to it. Like, she's very confident in it in a way that I haven't really seen her with many other projects where she's just like, oh yeah, it's going to be great. We're excited. She seemed like, you can tell the difference in emotion. Like, no, she's being real here, if you know what I mean. Like, And so that has me excited. But just the way it looks, it might be the most. Because again, I haven't seen the Marvel TV shows, so I'm not gonna like talk about them. But I have seen a lot of screen caps and the way they look and bad CG. This looks like a movie.
Yeah.
If you told me this is a trailer for a movie, you didn't have to put Star Wars on it. I'd be like, okay, yeah.
You know, it's funny when we
throughout all the Star Wars, I mean, we haven't had many, right? Even we've had Book of
Sure.
Boba and Mandalorian, right? But throughout what we've gotten, one thing I have noticed, I don't know if it's just the money or the people or what it is, but it just seems like they're putting, at least in cinematography, they're putting more time and effort and money into the Star Wars shows for cinematography than they are for Marvel.
Can we look at this farther out than just the shows, because Marvel has been consistently pretty poor on the larger spectrum with their cinematography. And it's kind of a meme now where it's
they've been
like
doing
this...
a little better recently, but
yes,
it's not known for the best
You see the
cinematography.
She-Hulk trailer? Oh my God.
She didn't look
The
great.
She-Hulk trailer was horrendous.
Yeah, but like that's the thing that Marvel has had. Like Star Wars, we can take the sequel trilogy, Rogue One, Solo, and now the shows. The cinematography those are consistently amazing.
Solo wasn't the best, but Rogue One.
Okay,
was.
yeah. Never mind. Solo was too dark. Rogue One was great.
I think something I want to say just about the show. I think the reason why a lot of people are not as excited is simply because it's called Andor. But it feels like Lucasfilm is making the show a lot more important than we initially thought. When you see the title Andor, you think it's a character story about Andor. But based off what we've seen, even just the vibe, as you guys said with the cinematography, we talked about this with the Obi-Wan trailer, how that just looked better than the Book of Boba Fett, especially with the shots on Tatooine. This looks better than what we saw in Obi-Wan. Because you can tell a lot of it's not on the volume. And the volume's great, but when the whole series is on the volume, you start to notice that a little bit. Here, you could convince me this is a trailer for a movie. There's a lot of wide takes, long, huge establishing shots. We don't really get that as much in the Disney Plus shows that we've seen so far. So it feels grander. You didn't actually even see that much of Cassian himself.
No.
We saw a lot of the Empire. We saw a lot
and
of
Mon Mothma.
Mon Mothma. We saw the Senate. We saw Coruscant for the first time in live action since Revenge of the Sith. Even in animation, we haven't seen
since Rogue One.
Okay, yeah. Rogue One, we barely
We're
saw
being
it.
technical here.
Okay, fine. For a good look at Coruscant in both live action and animated since the Clone Wars.
So I want to ask you...
it just feels more important than we initially might have thought. And I like that. I like that.
Well, I want to ask you guys this. We're talking about these characters, how we barely see Andor. Do you guys think it was a smart idea to call this Andor? Or do you think... obviously, from what we know, yes, it's going to be solely about Andor, right? It's going to be about his journey getting into the rebellion and being a spy. Season 2 is mostly going to be about a spy. It's going to span across 4 years. Season 2 is. And so my question to you guys is, should they have titled it Andor, or do you think it should have been something like Age of the Rebellion, or I don't know, just something different?
Well, this is what I see. I really feel that while we're seeing all these things, the one connecting tissue that's going to be between all of them is going to be Andor. That's what's going to end up happening. He's going to be the connecting tissue between everything, and he's going to be the one that ties it all together. And we're going to see all these things through his perspective, through this stuff being told to him or relayed to him or experienced through him. You know what I mean? So that's why I think it's going to be Andor, because he's going to be the connective tissue for all of it.
I just think the name itself,
even though he's
is
not
a little...
the catalyst for everything.
Like I feel like the Mandalorian. That just sounds grand. Like that kind of hooks you. But just Andor. I don't know.
Andor.
Maybe I'm being picky, but no, I don't mind it one bit.
I somewhat agree with you, because again, it just goes back to what I said a minute ago. Having it focus on Andor, who's a character that's not really well known in Star Wars. I bet you a good portion of fans who saw Rogue One didn't even remember his name. So it just feel weird. Like they're making this grand story and the main character is Andor. I think I would have preferred if it was simply called something else, but Cassian Andor was still the main character. I don't know. It just would make it feel more important.
Or Andor, Seeds of Rebellion. Something like that.
Even something like that.
Yeah.
Like I think so. I think it would give fans a better idea of what to expect in this. That's not really just a Cassian Andor origin story, that it's a rebellion origin story. At least that's the vibe that I'm getting from this trailer. Maybe it is just straight up a Cassian Andor story, and then the title would make sense. But the vibe I'm getting is that
You
it's
gotta
more
remember
than
this is
just
gonna be
Cassian.
12 episodes long. I think we're getting
That's
it
long.
plenty,
That's a lot.
plenty of
So-
Andor.
What's interesting about
But
that
that's the other
is-
question now. Are we getting 30-minute episodes then?
I think it'll be 40 minutes.
No, I don't think so. This from
40
what I've heard,
minutes at 12 episodes? I don't think so.
I think so. I think from what I've heard, this they're putting a lot more money into this budget than any other. So here's kind of my thing from what I've heard, and I can kind of say this is true now. They've basically doubled crew size for this show. Everyone that worked on, like they basically took, I believe it was the Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett crews and kind of put them together onto this show. Or I could have the shows mixed up. It could have been Mandalorian and Kenobi. That doesn't really make. I'll have to get back on that. But basically, they took 2 crew sets, like the amount of 2 crews, and put them together for the show. It's gonna be a high budget show, which is shocking to me. You would think they'd put that in like Kenobi or something, but that's why I'm like more excited. I'm like, no, they're very confident in the show. This show is gonna definitely build up a lot more than we're expecting.
Mm-hmm. And another thing that's somewhat interesting is just in terms of schedules, right? So they said the first 2 episodes come out on the same day. So it's going to run for about 11 weeks. I should pull up my calendar. So we got Obi-Wan until I think early July or late June is when it's going to finish. About 2 months off. Then we got Andor for 11 weeks. And then we got Mandalorian in February. Did they give an exact date in February, or did they just say February?
2023.
Just February.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, when's the Bad Batch coming out?
Why are we asking this question?
They're gonna overlap shows. They're gonna give.
I don't think so.
I may have gone too far in a few places.
I think the Bad Batch is going to be spaced off. I think they're going to kind of throw it around. If it's another 16 episode season,
It's gonna have to overlap with something.
I think it will. I think there's definitely going to be overlap, but I don't think it's going to be a problem because no one like outside of a general Star Wars fan base is going to be like, I want to watch the Bad Batch. Unlike Kenobi, like everyone who has Disney Plus is going to be like, oh, let's watch Kenobi. Everyone's talking about it.
Yeah, but it shows their priorities a little bit. Like when Clone Wars season 7 came out, that was a big thing that Disney Plus was marketing, and it seems like to them that the Bad Batch is like taking complete backseat to all the live action stuff.
Well, again, Clone Wars season 7 though was because that was a long time coming. The show was supposed to be, then it was canceled, so there was a lot of history behind Clone Wars season 7. So
still animation. I'm still like they didn't push out What If for Marvel that hard compared to the other stuff.
It wasn't a canceled show that we waited years and then they finally decided to bring back. So I mean,
there was a nostalgic backing factor to that.
Yeah,
for sure, no doubt about that.
So I don't know. I had to bring that up, but 12 episodes. That's gonna keep us busy for almost 3 months.
While we talk about episodes, I know we're going to talk about this topic later, but I just want to get it out before I forget because I know I'm going to. They confirmed at Star Wars Celebration that it's 6 episodes of Kenobi, 1 hour long each.
They straight up said 1 hour.
They said 1 hour. They did say 1 hour each.
I don't
I'll
believe
have
it.
to get the exact quote.
I think it'll be like more like 50 to 40 minutes.
Someone send that to me saying this person just said there's 1 hour long each.
If that's the case,
if Clone is in, let me ask my guy on Discord real quick because
if that's the case, that's literally a movie trilogy.
About. Let me do some research before.
I don't know. My prediction would probably be around like for the total, I would guess like 4 to 4.5 hours. That'd be my guess for 6 episodes. But I would love it to be longer as long as it's.
But even before then, they've said like a long time ago, like the word on the street has been for probably a year now, at least, that it's going to be a 6 hour long show. Word on the street's been.
Might as well put that banner up.
Might as well, unless we're done talking about Andor. I just wanted to get that out while it was on my mind.
I mean,
so I guess we'll move into Kenobi soon.
Do we have any final thoughts on Andor? I mean, kind of express we're excited for it.
I'm genuinely excited. I'm happy that it's coming in August. I know there was rumors that it was coming out like in late July and stuff, but August 31st, I think that's fine. I'm curious on if they're going to fill the gap with anything after Kenobi ends leading up to Andor, or if they're just going to solely focus on marketing Andor. Most likely the latter, but I'm excited. I'm for sure excited.
This trailer made me more excited than I was.
It reminded me of Eclipse.
The trailer made me more excited.
It reminded me of the Eclipse trailer, the way it was laid out.
All right, let's talk about.
And we're talking about 12. I mean, other than the length of the episode, but just the how long of a period we're talking about. We're talking about 3 months. If they do a weekly schedule, we're talking
That's
about 3
true.
months of Star Wars series.
I wonder why their strategy now is to release the first 2 episodes. I wonder what's. I feel like you do that if you really want to hook the viewer in. With Star Wars, it doesn't seem like you really need to do that.
So that means we're gonna be watching 2 hours of Kenobi on Friday night.
Yeah.
Okay, so my guy, my boy,
In Friday night, a few hours from
Ewan.
now.
It was Ewan.
Yeah, a few hours from now.
Ewan himself said it today.
Ewan said it.
Ewan McGregor, 6-hour long episodes. Let's
I
go.
believe him.
Let's go.
I
Yeah,
think
no,
So
let's go.
we're gonna be up. We're gonna be watching something for 2 hours this morning.
I'm gonna
then,
be
is
up.
what we're saying.
Hey, this is such a big event. My uncle is coming down to see us, to watch it with
Wow.
us. That's how. I don't know what the word is, but this I'm excited, man.
I don't know. I just don't
yeah.
believe it. I think they'll average about like 48 minutes an episode. I don't know. He might have said it. I just don't believe
I think
Yeah,
he,
'cause
he might be rounding up. It may not be 60
because
minutes.
he's an executive producer.
But maybe it's
so
45, 50 minutes.
But also
Yeah.
keep in mind, freaking Disney Plus loves having its 7 to 8 minute credits. So
Yeah.
But
Yeah, by the time you cut that out, if it's a
Ewan-
50-minute episode, by the time you cut all that out, it's probably about 38-minute long.
Ewan
episodes,
McGregor
40-minute episodes.
Ewan McGregor would not be running with the credits and end credits.
Did you also hear they said that they were gonna show the first 2 episodes to people at Celebration at like 7 Pacific time?
Yeah, they're gonna be seeing it in a few hours from now. I had so many people complaining about that and really upset about that. I'm like, it's guys,
No.
like movie
It's
premieres.
a couple hours.
It's a few hours.
It's,
I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm
we're talking
deleting
about movies
social-
are days.
I can't
Yeah.
watch it until tomorrow night at 8 o'clock when I get home from work, and it's gonna be rough, man. Because I got to delete all my social medias. I'll probably keep my Discord. It's gonna be rough, man. I'll tell you that. But it'll be worth the wait.
I mean, gotta be something.
I'm definitely gonna stay up to watch it tonight.
Oh, me
Me
too.
and
I
Yellow
would,
were
but I've
supposed
work.
to do watch parties for this, but we haven't discussed it yet because I literally just got back.
Yeah.
This is the first stream I've
I
done
don't think-
since all this stuff happened. So I don't know what scheduling is like for me yet.
Yeah, we have to discuss just talking about the episodes, but that's a topic for later.
Yeah.
But we got a few hours. I think it's fine. They show it to, and it's not like these 2 episodes are gonna have anything really like major spoilerly or anything.
Hold on, slow down. Let's put this into perspective here, Goldman. We are watching basically a feature-length movie tonight,
Yes,
Goldman.
yes. But it's gonna be like, okay, yes, but
Goldman,
Let's
there's
we're not
There
gonna
better
get,
be something in there
There's
if it's
some
almost
stuff
2
in
hours.
there.
I
there's
meant-
some stuff in here, Goldman.
I'm not
Just
saying
wait.
I'm not saying we're not going to see nothing. I'm saying we're
I
not
know
going
what
to
you
see
mean.
like we're not going to see Obi-Wan fight Vader. We're not going to see these huge things that are going to break the internet. At least that's my prediction. I don't need you humming, okay? Like,
Yeah, but that's like anticipating a movie trilogy and going, the first movie's not going to be much.
Force
That's the difference.
Awakens, you know.
no. This is I suppose it's 6-hour long story, not 3 2-hour long stories. Or
Yeah, but
6
but it's
1
all
It's
one linear story.
that much
so it's all
content, though.
combined.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be. I don't think there's going to be anything.
Sorry,
breaking in
Goldman.
the first
Sorry,
episode.
Goldman. You're on the...
We'll see.
Hey, why are we arguing? We're gonna find out in a few
Lord
hours.
of Rings.
We will.
Lord of Rings was 3 linear
This is not-
consecutive movies.
This is not Lord of the
told
Rings.
one
It's not-
story.
It is not Lord of
I
the
would
Rings.
say this is the equivalent of Lord of the Star Wars. Okay, this is
Then
Kenobi.
you're probably setting yourself up for disappointment if you think this is equivalent to the best trilogy ever.
Just saying.
All right. Well, I guess
Same.
and any like predictions? I guess you can't predict stuff because
I'm
you
not gonna-
know everything.
I will say something and I'll be like, oh wait, that's true. Oh wait, I shouldn't have said that's true because now you guys know.
I know like a few things, but I
You've
don't
read
know,
some of
Well-
the stuff on my Discord, yeah.
a few.
Here, well, let's go with this, Goldman, because you said you don't think we're going to get much. So tell us what you anticipate seeing in this first 2 episodes.
I feel like the first episode is going to be a lot of Obi-Wan on Tatooine, like what his daily life is. Like apparently he has a job. I mean, we kind of saw that in the trailer. That he's like working for people. I feel like we'll get a lot of that in the first episode, and then at the end of the first episode, we'll get the like inciting incident that really sets up the plot. In the second episode, we'll develop that further, and I think the end of the second episode, we'll get some sort of cliffhanger or like something like a good tease. I don't know, maybe seeing Vader for the first time, or one of the Inquisitors like kill someone or something. Like a good tease. That's what I think is going to happen. I don't think nothing's going to happen. I just don't think anything like groundbreaking, like seeing Baby Yoda for the first time or seeing Luke show up or some insane sequence is going to happen. I could be wrong.
I
I'd
see
like to
what
be
you're
wrong.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lunga, what are your
about you?
predictions? Or what are your hopes?
Oh no, I already.
Yeah.
What are you going to say? Oh, we're going to you first.
Wait. Lunga,
Lunga-
is Lunga
We're going
delayed
to
or
you
is it
first.
just me?
Lunga, I think your camera's really out of
Am I
sync
delayed?
with your voice.
Reach,
Yeah.
talk.
Hold on a second.
No.
Wait, no, it's back. Lunga.
Am I okay now?
Yeah.
Am I back?
Yes.
That was
Am I
so
back?
weird.
Yeah, I
Am
think
I
you're good
back?
now.
Okay. Well, as long
Yeah,
as
you're
I'm back.
fine. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
You look a little
Anyways.
blurry though. Now you look better.
Yeah, his focus was
Gotcha.
out.
It could have been opening up a browser or something that did it. That could have been a thing. Now, what I was saying was, go ahead. We'll go with Palpatine's first. Go ahead, then I'll give my thoughts.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Oh,
Oh, you can't say anything,
Dude,
Mister, because I have too much information.
I won't because like I'll try and like spin it the other way.
Palpatine is becoming like the guy.
Well,
He's like, you know, he said earlier. He's like, I know
Yeah.
a guy who's on the set. And he does this. I know a guy who gave me a
my
monthly-
uncle's
Who knows a
cousin's
guy?
brother
You're
is
turning- you're
the
turning-
Microsoft CEO, and I'm gonna get your account banned.
Well, now I do feel by the end of the second episode, like you Goldman mentioned the inciting event, which kicks it off, which I really think is what we saw in those trailers with Reva showing up on Tatooine. I think that's the inciting event that's gonna thrust it in. I for sure believe we're gonna see that at least by the middle of the second episode.
I will say,
with Reva showing up on Tatooine.
speaking of Reva, I think Reva. It's Reva, right? Not Reva. It's
Yeah.
Reva. I think Reva's
Reva.
gonna.
I've heard people call it Reva.
Yeah,
but
I believe
it
that's
could
the
be Reva.
official. Yeah, that's what Ewan said. I think Reva's going to surprise people. I know there's some controversy around her still in the show. It's not true.
Whatever.
I think
she looks awesome. I don't.
she
care.
looks awesome. I like her voice. Like when she yells, "You can't outrun him, Obi-Wan." Like that gave me chills, dude. I don't think I was here for whenever that Kenobi trailer came out. The official one. I don't think I was able to be here, or the teaser, so I haven't even said my thoughts on it. But
The teaser you weren't, I remember, because we were talking about that.
yeah,
That was one of the last.
and I don't
shows
think the
was
official
on.
one either. So yeah, Reva, her voice though, she's like, the way she talks about Vader and stuff. I'm very excited to see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? I think
Have you noticed we've seen less as these teasers have been going on? We're seeing more of her and the other Inquisitors and less of the Grand Inquisitor. I wonder if they're doing that on purpose.
Little Humpty
it's like
Dumpty
people weren't too happy with him.
one thing.
But yeah, so I think that's going to happen,
Yeah,
and it looks exciting to me.
I hope I think we're a little traumatized from the Book of Boba Fett since we got 2 episodes that weren't with the titular character. But here, the main focus should be on Obi-Wan. Yes, he's the main character. He should be the main focus of all the episode. But I still want to see character development for other characters too.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see a lot of character development for Owen. What is he actually like? Because he hasn't really been a character in the prequels.
Dude, they drop a big one in that last
Yeah,
trailer, though, with him saying like
Yeah,
he
that.
trained his father.
I loved that. I loved that. And in Attack of the Clones, he doesn't really do anything. Kind of just stands there, says a few lines. That's it. And then we get a good idea of what he's like in The New Hope. But I don't know. I want to. It's an interesting topic, if you will, in terms of like Owen and Beru, right? They're chilling on Tatooine one day, and then Obi-Wan shows up and he's like, "Here's your nephew. That's technically not biologically related to you because Anakin is Owen's stepbrother." So I kind of want to see a little bit of why Owen is so passionate about protecting Luke. Obviously, you can just say he's family, but I don't know. Why does he feel such a strong responsibility to raise his kid so much? And why is he so distant to Obi-Wan?
Because he was Shmi did raise him for a little while.
Good point.
And I think he really looked at Shmi like a mother figure, even though it's a stepmom.
Mhm.
And I think he feels this responsibility to Shmi. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be an interesting point if they touched on it. I doubt they'll mention Shmi Skywalker though. But
I'm curious on the relationship with him and Kenobi, because even in A New Hope, he's not talking fondly of Kenobi. Like he
Very
knows what Luke has to do. He knows how it has to go. It doesn't mean he likes it, And so I'm curious on the relationship with Kenobi and stuff. And for me, I'm really intrigued to see if there's certain events that happen that cause Owen
yeah,
to
but
be
it also
like to look at Kenobi and say you're making things worse. I wonder if they're gonna do it, because if you look at him in A New Hope, he's just like, what does he say? He's just what does he call him? He's
old
crazy
hermit.
wizard or something like
Yeah.
that. And so it's
Crazy
not like
old hermit.
so it's not like their relationship was bad and it got better, and that's what I'm excited. I'm curious to see how that
Well,
plays
we
out.
kind of see a teasing of that in these trailers too.
That's
right?
what I'm
'Cause we
saying,
see
yeah.
them attacking Tatooine. We see those people that look like they're dead, like they were hanging. In that
yeah,
one
Reva's
scene, you
probably
see their
gonna be
feet. So it could be, that these Inquisitors are coming there because of him. people are dying on Tatooine, which they're relatively peaceful, let's say, until they show up. And people are dying because of him and his kooky religion, and all this other stuff. And I think he just sees him as an existential threat.
Which you can't
That
blame
just his
him.
presence, right?
You can't blame it at all. That's what
Yeah,
I
but-
like. You can feel for both sides, and I like that.
It's interesting because when Obi-Wan first shows up, we don't see this conversation, but at some point Obi-Wan must have explained to Owen like what happened to Anakin, that he turned to the dark side, because Owen knows. And Obi-Wan must have said at some point, listen, our deal here is that eventually Luke will be trained as a Jedi. He will become my responsibility. And it seems like from this, and even in episode 4, Owen's like, no, like kind of just goes back on a presumed deal I assume they have. He's like, no, raising this kid as a Jedi is not what's best for him. And I'm so excited to see more of Uncle Owen. It's such a weird
I find that
comment, but I
interesting. I
am.
feel like we all are. Yeah.
Because he plays such a pivotal role in Star Wars. He raised Luke Skywalker for 19 years, but we don't know much
Well, not
about
only
him.
that, the actor, because when
good.
when they brought him into prequels, he was kind of just starting out as an actor. He wasn't really,
Yeah.
But now he's a name.
Talk about lucking out. Star Wars lucked out there.
Yeah.
With Owen, that's cool.
I hope they use his acting skills properly too. I hope we see some really deep and emotional scenes between Kenobi and Owen. Maybe some close calls happen and they just, I don't know, maybe they have a fight or something. I want to see that stuff.
Yeah. So I can't wait to see it. So are you said your uncle's coming in? Are you guys staying up all night to watch this?
No,
then, or
see,
you-
that's what I was saying. He's coming in. Now, he's not like super far away or anything, but like we don't see him a whole lot. So the fact that he's even wanting to come down, kind of like that. He's just a few cities away. But yeah, I'll be watching it at about 8:00 Central tomorrow night. And I would, if this wasn't happening, I probably
so
would.
you're waiting a long time.
Told
You're
you,
gonna
I'm gonna be at work
well,
all day. I'm gonna
internet time. That's a
I'm
long
gonna,
time.
I'm gonna have to find stuff to do. Yeah, like because I'll be at work and like it'll be slow. It gets slow at work, and it's like you just want to be on your phone. No, dude, you got to be careful, man. So I'm just gonna. I did it with Mandalorian, so I don't see it being a problem at all. But
because for me, even if I didn't stay up all night to watch it, I'd still be watching it first thing in the morning.
That's what
9
I
o'clock or
would
something like that.
had I not have plans already with some other people.
Right.
I want to watch it with them.
Yeah.
What
So
about you, Goldman?
I will be streaming it. What I actually plan on doing is after we finish this, I'm gonna go to sleep, or at least try to wake up around an hour or two before the episode comes out, watch both the episodes, and then try to make a video on it, and then go to sleep because I'm taking off from work tomorrow and Monday. Well, Monday's off.
Speaking
So-
of taking off work,
He's scheduled these personal days like 2 months ago. Like, guys, nobody's coming out.
My boss is fully aware of this. Now I haven't told my boss about my YouTube channel, but he knows how much I love Star Wars. So I'm like, yeah, I'm taking off. I took a half day today because I thought they would actually, because I did a live stream for Celebration. So I'm like, I'm taking off Friday. We have off Monday. I'm also taking off Tuesday. So just like I'm gonna work on the Star Wars vids all weekend. We got 2 episodes. we got 2 episodes and presumably more Celebration news. Hopefully,
Yeah.
a lot of
you
stuff
got
to cover.
Mando Plus, Tales of the Jedi, and then I think the Bad Batch panel. I think those are the 3 big ones that are coming soon. And those are on Saturday.
So not that much, but there was something else that was shown, and it was kind of leaked onto the internet today. Was the Mando season 3 teaser?
Do not
That
play it
was
because
also
Disney.
shown.
Is,
I am not. No.
they're
I'm
cutting
not. I'm not
people.
playing it.
Yep. No, I
I'm
just
not
wanna make
playing it.
sure.
I have. Yeah. I have something else to share, but I'm not sharing that.
A quick.
We've got it downloaded. I've got it in
just,
my Discord. But we've got
Just
it.
the. I got it here. I got it here. It's just the.
I want to share something real quick that's unrelated. They announced a new book in the High Republic called "The High Republic: The Battle of Jeddah," and
Oh really?
Oh, that's
so maybe that'll tie into That's actually an audiobook. Never mind, but might tie into like why we see the statue fall in Rogue One.
That's
That'd be
Rogue
really cool. But yeah, okay. Back to the leaked Mando season 3 trailer.
I'm gonna
What
put it
are
up
you
on my-
showing here?
I was sure. Well, no, I picked the wrong one. That's all.
Are you
It's
showing
coming right, so
images? I
it's-
think we should be very careful.
It's just an image. It's just an
Okay,
image.
that, but don't show like actual images
Yeah.
from the trailer.
No. That's all I have.
Okay. Yes. All right. All
Oh,
right.
that's fine. I've got the trailer pulled up on my right screen.
Yeah.
We'll get-
So.
That's all I have. But it was all over the internet. You had like Total Film coming out saying the teaser starts with the armor unhappy about Mando removing his helmet, which we cut. I did end up watching it. I tried to stay away from the stuff. I ended up watching it, which is pretty much just kind of a rehash of what we saw in Book of Boba. That wasn't anything really new. Mando saying he's going to go to Mandalore to be forgiven for his transgressions, which was kind of big. And then we see a lot of Bo-Katan in that. And one mentions her on an epic throne. There's one scene again. Oh, by the way, guys, watch spoilers. If you haven't seen this, we might hit some stuff that's a little spoiler from this teaser trailer. If you don't want to know, click away now, I guess. But there was one scene. Tell me if you guys noticed it when she was looking out the windows. Did that not look like the royal palace on Mandalore?
That's what I got. I got
yeah.
that. I got the vibes from that because there's like the nice windows. Yeah, I got that vibe.
Right. It reminded me of those windows that what's her fuck? Not Sabine Wren. Satine. When Satine and Obi-Wan are walking through the halls.
Mm-hmm.
The Palace of Mandalore, they look like those windows when they were walking in the palace.
And Bo-Katan was shown heavily in this trailer.
Yes,
it's like she's the villain. Because I mean, one thing I'm actually a little concerned about this episode or this season seems to be a lot Mandalorian focused in terms of the Mandalorian culture and all that. I wonder what Grogu's going to be doing. Is he just going to be there to make people laugh? Like, does he have an active role this season? Because
we already know from Book of Boba he's going to become a little Mandalorian. That's what his.
So is that
Jedi?
Is that part of the? Is that going to be part of the season? Mando training Grogu to be a Mandalorian, but Mandalorians shoot guns
or at
and
least
have
a
jetpacks.
setup for it. At least a
guess.
setup for it, because Bo-Katan makes that line where she says, "You think he's the only Mandalorian?"
Yeah, I'm worried that they just don't really have anything for Grogu to do. He's kind of going to be there because people love Grogu.
And he's going to be there for plot conveniences when he needs to do a random force power.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like he has dialogue in any of them. So, I mean, let's be honest here. It's not like,
we know why he's there. One thing that stood out to me is, well, for one, there's this beautiful shot of his N1 starfighter going through hyperspace. I love me some hyperspace shots. Okay, I'm a simp for those things. So a couple things that stood out to me. The cloning engineer is back. He's there. A few times actually. So I hope they continue on with that thread of cloning. I think that would be very neat.
With that kind of teaser we got from that, and even though I hate the show, the end of Bad Batch, we're getting this connection with the cloning's facilities and stuff.
Exactly. And so also about 1 minute and 18 seconds, N1 starfighters going through literally a fleet of I don't want to say like vendors or anything, but a fleet of ships. So I'm, there's gonna be some big stuff in this season. Then we see a lot of other Mandalorians and all that. My hope is that Bo-Katan doesn't rule Mandalore, because then it's kind of like
she seems like a villain.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
well, I think she's gonna be, and then
he's gonna come take it back. I think.
But I don't think he's gonna end up being the leader of Mandalore. I don't think that's something he wants. I think it's gonna end up going to a third party that we don't know yet.
That'd be cool. That'd be interesting. Or I think what's going to happen is they're going to lead into a Mandalorian civil war. There's going to be different tribes of Mandalorian clashing together. I feel like that's something that's been properly set up.
There's not much left of Mando's clan.
Because she was Death Watch. Then she left Death Watch because of Darth Maul. And his faction, his cult, is basically Death Watch reborn. After the Night of Tears or what it was called. And so she's very antagonistic towards it because she used to be part of that and she knows what they're about. And I think she's going to be more of this Mandalore for Mandalorians, whereas Death Watch, because they wanted to propagate it, they spread out into this anyone can be a Mandalorian as long as they follow our creed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I think that's going to be like a conflict of philosophies too.
Well, that's why I like with Goldman, you said there's not many of the Death Watch left. That's true. But there's also a lot of Mandalorians left. And I do think with the Civil War that happens, people will see the Death Watch's philosophical ideas and morals and say, I like this better, right? And so you're going to see a split. And so there would be a grander army going up against each other. That's kind of how I think it could play. I'm not saying I don't think it will. I think that's an idea, though, that could happen.
And how do we think the Empire is going to tie into this? Because they showed the cloner guy. I assume they'll still have some sort of presence. Yeah, or like, well, I don't know. When they defeated I don't know what the type of cruiser it is at the end of season 2, it's not like there's still probably an Imperial presence out there. I'm assuming not the First Order.
This is what we have, because what we have is the First Order has retreated to its base and it's building its power outside of outside of the galaxy. Okay, so they're like a non-factor at the moment because they're in their own little thing, doing their own little thing. And what we
Yes.
saw here is basically these mini little warlords. Like Moff Gideon was like a mini little warlord in a sector of space that he was controlling.
Yeah.
So they're going to be there, but I think they're going to be these scattered kind of, forces, which also brings into, what's going to happen with Ahsoka and
Thrawn.
Thrawn, yeah, and Thrawn and stuff. We know what's going to happen with him because he's going to come back and he's going to bring this old imperial feeling back that isn't there, and he's probably going to try to take control of things. But I think it's going to be these warlords that just run these own little sectors of space that might even infight with each other. So I don't think it's really necessarily like the Empire, just these fragments.
I guess also, what are they gonna mention, tying anything more with the cloning stuff? Are we gonna get more answers to what's gonna happen there?
I'm
Is
assuming
it
considering they
is it
showed
Snoke
that-
related? Is it not? Is it just something else? Does Gideon just want to clone himself or give himself?
I think that's a third
Force
line.
blood?
I think that's a third storyline to what's going on with the First Order.
I'm
out
fairly
in
confident.
Exegol space or wherever they're at.
A lot of stuff. There's a lot of. This is not going to be the culmination. I know we talked about this almost a year ago now. Is this going to be 3 seasons?
I think so. I think from because like what the original thing was is the Mandalorian season 3 is the final season of the Mandalorian, but it's going to branch off into different shows. And I know now we're hearing some rumors that a Bo-Katan show is happening, which I'm not a fan of. And now we see Bo-Katan on the throne here. I'm like, it makes me wonder: is she going to rule Mandalore by the end of the show, and then her own spinoff show is set up? I don't like that. Don't get me wrong. I don't like that idea. But it definitely is lining up in a way, I would say.
Well, we also got the I don't know. The Mandoverse is shaping up to be interesting. Looks like Rangers of the New Republic just never happening. I wish they would just say, "Hey, yeah, not happening anymore."
No,
You guys know
They
why?
did.
They straight up said it's not happening.
Yeah, Kathleen Kennedy said that they scrapped it and that they're just merging certain story ideas into the other shows. She said that a few months
Kathleen
ago.
Kennedy also said that Ryan Johnson's trilogy is still happening. So I don't believe anything they say.
Okay, but okay, hold on. What are you gonna believe more? Them saying, "Yeah, this show is not happening anymore," or "Oh, it's still happening. It's on the back burner." I think we can thoroughly accept that. Her saying that Rangers was canned and that they're merging it into other shows is much more believable,
I
right?
suppose.
Yes. I could see more of a Rangers or Rangers spin-off of the original idea happening than a Ryan Johnson trilogy.
And don't
let's
forget,
just put it that way.
Oh,
and don't forget, we got the new Mandoverse show. The what's it called? Skeleton Crew.
Oh,
Yeah, are we gonna wanna talk
really,
about
are we
that
get, Are
now,
we really
or-
getting into that?
I think it's
we really
time to get
getting
into
into
that.
that?
Yep.
I guess it leads up. Not a fan. I'm not a
John
big-
Watts Star Wars series Skeleton Crew starting who is it? Jude Law, right? I think that was Jude Law.
That's weird. They said the main character is gonna be a bunch of kids, and then Jude Law is gonna be there too. I guess. Now they said that's for
Kinda weird.
2023, right? I believe they said it.
Yeah.
Yes, I think so.
Got a
Has
busy
to be.
2023.
Yeah.
Makes me wonder if we're having Obi-Wan. We got Mando season 3 in 2023, Ahsoka 2023, this show 2023. Is this 12 episode season 2 of Andor going to be in 2024?
Probably.
I think we're getting
considering-
way ahead of ourselves with the second season of Andor because it's going to be at minimum a year between.
Yeah.
If it's 12, especially if it's 12 episodes, it'll be at least a year and a half before the second season.
So probably
we're
2024 then.
talking. We're talking about mid. What mid 2023 before Andor ends, right?
What?
So, wait a minute. No, Andor's starting August, right?
Yes.
August. Okay, so
12
it'll
weeks.
go on until the end. It'll start until the end of the year. So I don't think we'll see that next season until fall 2023 earliest.
No,
I know,
I can't.
I
I can't
think
even
later.
See that. I'm thinking 2024. There's with all these other shows. There's no way they fit Andor season 2 into that. There's no way.
Yeah.
You've got
So-
the
We still haven't
Acolyte,
seen Ahsoka.
Ahsoka, Mando season 3 to start off. There's another one I want to say that I'm not. Potentially a movie. I doubt a movie's coming in 2023 based on previous
They
reports.
They can't. There's no way.
I
They didn't
doubt
touch on
it. No.
anything.
Well, no, well, it's not even that. They did touch on it a couple weeks ago with Vanity Fair.
Yeah, not here at
Rogue
Celebration.
Rogue Squadron's not happening, and it's not the next thing happening. It's still happening. It's not the next thing happening. Taika Waititi's is They haven't even started production on that. From what I recall, they have not started filming or anything like that. They're still doing script stuff. So I'm like, I doubt we get a movie in 2023, which is disappointing because I was really looking forward to Rogue Squadron. I was really looking forward to that. But
Isn't it
Well,
crazy
it's
to think that Rogue Squadron was supposed to come out at the end of this year, 2022.
yeah,
Yeah.
And then COVID delayed it a year, and then Lucasfilm delayed it.
Lucasfilm did
Lucasfilm being Lucasfilm had to have it delayed for till God knows when.
Yeah,
'cause-
it's unfortunate.
this
I'm
is what
looking forward to that
the-
way more than Taika's movie. But
The description of this show is that it's a coming of age tale set in the sci-fi universe of Star Wars. In addition to Law, it will also star kids, in quotes, though we don't know who they will be just yet. It's led by director John Watts and writer Chris Ford, who previously collaborated on Spider-Man Homecoming and produced by Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. This is the show we were talking about, what, a month or two ago, right? Where you guys were telling me it was supposed to be like a Stranger Things, a Star Wars Stranger Things kind of deal. And I'm like, screw that, fuck them kids.
this is it. What if one of the kids is Ben Solo?
What if one of the kids is Omega?
Omega's not going to be a
too
kid
far,
in this
Lunga.
anymore.
Too far.
Omega will be
Did he
what,
tell
in
us
her
when?
30s by then?
We don't know. We don't know when this is being
After
set.
Return of the
It doesn't
Jedi.
say.
Someone made
Is
up a
it?
good point.
Yeah.
It's after Return of the Jedi. It's within the
Okay.
Mandoverse, produced by John and Dave again. It's a Mandoverse story. Someone brought up a good point. They said, "What if this guy's I forgot his name?
Jude Law.
Jude Law.
Yeah. What if he's Kyle Katarn?"
Mm.
I've heard people speculate about that. They're like, because people say that Lucasfilm wants to bring him back and stuff. I don't know how they're gonna fit it in, but
Could just be interesting, I guess.
I'm like, I can't say I can't see it in his look, but
No strong. I don't even know what Kyle Katarn looks like.
you don't know what Kyle Katarn looks.
No.
You never played Force.
Nope.
You never played Jedi Academy.
Nope.
Bro, that is like one of the best
Bro.
Star Wars games.
Bro.
No joke. Before Disney bought the franchise, the only Star Wars video game I ever played was Lego Star Wars.
Goldman. I'm gonna
The
send you a
only one.
package of some of the best Star Wars games and buy you a little Xbox and force you to sit down and play it for like a few weeks.
I'm busy.
All of them.
I'm busy, dude. Maybe he could be. Maybe he grows out his beard a little bit. He could be Kyle Katarn. I
That's
don't
what
know.
I'm saying. Like I can't say I see it, but I can't say I don't see it. If that makes any sense. Like
Yeah, it's hard to speculate what this will be because they said it doesn't. It's going to be set around the same time as the Mandalorian, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be involved in the same story. It's kind of that same time. So
it's hard to tell from based on we don't know enough about it yet. I'll just say like I don't.
And the
It's
name-
hard to tell.
the name Skeleton Crew it just seems like really.
No,
I don't even know
one's
what
a
to
fan of
think.
it. Like, skeleton
Skeleton.
crew. Well, what is a skeleton crew? It's a crew of people who are so numbered down. It's like
What if this
Okay,
is
so-
the like the Goonies of Star Wars?
I swear, if this is like one of those like Marvel goofy comedic shows where it's like, oh no, because it's got kids in it. Oh no, I can't do this. No.
I don't want to see this at all. I'm not anywhere near excited. Here's your guy.
I can see that. Oh my gosh, it's Kyle Katarn. Holy cow. Kyle Katarn is coming to Star Wars. I can see it. I'm not okay. So like one thing that does give me hope because I'm with you guys. I'm not like the biggest fan of the kid-oriented stuff. Well, Stranger Things does it well, first of all, so it's not impossible. But they also said it's kid-oriented, but not a kids show. So that quote right there, they specify. They're like, guys, it's not a kids show. They said that today at Celebration. So I'm like, okay, they specifically said that because they knew people like us were going to be kind of worried about that. So it does give me a little bit more hope.
Is the Lando show ever gonna happen?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Going back to the Lando show.
My friend Akira
that
brought up
was-
a really good point. He said they announced that like right along with all the controversy with John Boyega and stuff. Akira said that he wouldn't be surprised if that was just a throw-in just to try and get people swayed off of, the whole situation and issue.
You think they would really lie about an announcement completely?
I don't know.
It could easily be thrown under the rug of, look, we announced a lot of shows. Half of them aren't getting made. So it could easily fall under that.
I don't.
category.
It's a conspiracy. I'm just saying. My friend Akira said that. I'm like,
The Rangers of the New Republic situation is a little different because that was
Yeah.
clearly going to be Gina Carano's show. So there's a reason why that doesn't exist anymore. But with Lando, when they announced the show, they never even confirmed Don Glover as Lando. They just said Lando show. Sorry, it just they attached a writer to it too. The guy who said made what is
No,
it? Dear
it's
White
definitely
People.
something they probably want to do. Yeah, that guy.
It's
Tell
just
you
weird.
what, I'm gonna go
It's just
look
weird they don't even
at the
mention
graphic
it.
I had from that investor call, because that's where he announced all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, it was the like the Disney showcase in late 2020.
Yeah, something
That's
like
when
that.
they announced Kenobi and stuff, right?
No, they announced Kenobi at D23 in 2019. That's
Oh,
when they
was that-
announced that's when they announced Ahsoka, Rogue Squadron, Rangers,
Was that
Taika's
19?
movie. Yes. No.
Really?
They announced Obi-Wan in 19 because that was the D23 before Rise of Skywalker came out. They announced Lando and all these other shows in late 2020.
There's no way they announced Kenobi whenever Mandalorian season 1 was coming out.
Yeah.
That's way too early. That
Yes.
had to. That was.
Remember they had
They
Ewan
had him come
McGregor
out,
walk up
yeah,
on
it
the
was
stage.
D20
It wasn't
Kenobi
D23 2020.
announcement.
There was no D23 2020. That's during COVID.
Yeah,
Um,
it was investor calls and stuff that they were doing back then. That's all they're doing was Disney Plus and Disney investor calls. That's where we were getting a lot of the information from.
Yeah, remember they
Right,
announced
so
it and
that's
they said they would start shooting the next year and they didn't and waited like a whole other year before they started shooting.
I'll take your word. I don't. Additional. Oh wait, in April 2020, additional castings were announced. I'm not gonna find this on the Wikipedia. I'll take your word for it. I don't remember that. I thought it was. I thought it was after that, but I'll take your. I'll take it.
Was I the only
Right.
one mildly frustrated that during the I guess we should have seen this coming, the Lucasfilm showcase, they spent some time talking about Willow and Indiana Jones
Yeah,
at Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah, it's not Lucasfilm Celebration. It's Star Wars, and it's like, but we don't get any movie news for Star Wars movies. We get,
but they don't
other
have enough
movies.
stuff for Star Wars, right? So they have to do that.
I was
And it's
frustrated
kinda
that they
silly.
didn't stream it. That was really
Yeah,
disappointing.
my stream was me just refreshing Twitter.
Yeah, I opened my phone. I had like 50 tweet notifications from Star
Oh.
Wars. It was funny.
Yeah, but I don't know. We got some interesting stuff. It's hard to say much about like Skeleton Crew. I mean, strangers.
I'm not excited about. There's literally there's nothing making me like even like anticipating it at all. It's like, okay, Jude Law, maybe that's about it. I mean, he's a good actor, but it's
think-
like okay, but
I wish we just got more like plot details. Like, what is this really about? Like,
I don't
they just
think
said
they know.
kids.
I think it's still probably
is
too
it-
early.
Are we being premature again that the show even happens? They said like they gave us a confirmed 2023 release date. Didn't get any more specifics than that, but we'll see. It's just interesting. It's a really interesting one.
I
And
don't know.
are there any other major? There's the Mando Plus like panel, but I feel like there's not going to be anything else really like that they're going to announce major.
I don't even think Mando Plus is gonna. I don't know. They're not streaming Mando Plus either. So for some reason, they're not doing that. The Bad Batch, and then what was the other one? There's one other one.
Well, they're
Tales
doing
of the Jedi. Tales of the Jedi.
That I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, they're not going to
I,
stream that
I
one either.
swear, if Tales of the Jedi is another like Forces of Destiny or Galaxies of Heroes, or Galaxies of Adventures,
Did
so
Trent?
disappointed.
Never
Now
mind.
let me ask this: are you guys surprised at all that there was nothing regarding Ahsoka
No,
in this?
I thought maybe they would give more like confirmed castings, but they've just started filming.
I am surprised. I thought we'd get at least a couple like set images or. I don't know. They literally just they just started filming when all we've gotten is that picture of the cowboy hat in the seat.
They showed
Oh.
they showed
It was a behind the scenes
footage,
Rosario, they had a behind the scenes with Rosario Dawson.
and I guess I think it's a great idea just to show it to the people there and not everyone else.
To show that's happening, to show they're doing something, right?
Yeah, but
Just-
it's
just
just
show
like
us
why?
that you're
I struggle with the logic. I know people make the argument that they want to give something special to people who are at Celebration. The thing that's special for people at Celebration is they get to go to all these different panels, not just the major ones, but all these other ones. Like the Mando season 3 trailer. Why not release that? Build some hype. Lucasfilm marketing isn't the best. It's 9 months away.
Perfectly honest, and I think we've touched on this plenty of times. I think what the big issue though here too is like we are excited and we do want to get hyped up about these shows, right? And they are good and they're exciting, but I think there's a malaise forming where it's like, are we gonna hear about a movie? We need some stuff about movies.
It's not gonna
That
happen.
sure, the shows are great. We love it. Keep them coming, but it almost seems like they keep throwing these things at us to like distract the fact that, hey, we're not making any movies.
Well, I think
You
that's
know?
I think that was the point I was going to bring up. Is I think the only news they could have given us about movies was going to be somewhat mildly negative news. I don't think they have any real uplifting positive news for movies to give us. The only news they would is going to be
Like,
like, oh, Rogue Squadron.
Because all they had was Rogue Squadron. That's all they had was
delayed.
Rogue Squadron.
Why do you think they brought that up at Vanity Fair a couple weeks ago? Why do you think they didn't wait? Because it's bad news. It's because they knew like they didn't want to.
It's just not happening. It's like
No, Rogue
there's
Squadron-
There's not a movie. Remember when people said there's gonna be a surprise movie in 2023? It's just not happening.
That was okay, but I was also along with all the fake Disney Plus day leaks and all that. I'm like, man.
The Taika movie.
And then people were like, "It's Old Republic."
The
You guys
Feige
remember
movie.
those? It's Old Republic. Taika's and Feige's are
What?
still happening.
Weren't people saying that John Watts was gonna do the Feige stuff? Like, or was that just my misremembering that? So I guess Feige's movie's still a thing.
John
Well,
Watts is,
the whole-
John
remember,
Watts is doing
the
the skeleton.
The Skeleton Crew.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's the thing that people always tend to forget is like we hear these names thrown around. And they come up with all these rumors. Could be this, could be that, and rumor. But the John Watts name could have been in there, and people are hearing it for this. They just didn't know what it was yet.
Mm-hmm.
So they were trying to apply it to. Oh, he's with Feige. Oh, he's doing this, or maybe he's doing that. You know what I mean? And it's like no, it's this.
I just don't get why people just don't. Because you're right, but I don't get why people don't just go. John Watts is doing something in Star Wars. It's because it doesn't get the clicks. If you post John Watts is working with Kevin Feige on his movie, it's like, well, and he very well could be because Kevin Feige's movie is not going to be for years, right? So
yeah, whatever his is,
It
I think
could
it's gonna
be.
and it's gonna be after Taika's, after if Patty does a movie, it's gonna be
Before
after
Ryan Johnson's trilogy.
trilogy.
Although you know, she's like, we're hesitant to say the word trilogies now.
because it's gotta be like it's gonna be like the Marvel movies, right? It's gonna be
Yeah.
episodic.
Yeah, I guess they just don't like trilogies, but whatever. They make very questionable decisions on the movie front.
But that's starting,
That's
it's starting to bother me. That's starting to worry me a
worrying.
lot.
I just find
You
it
know,
like
it's-
they couldn't give us a title of Taika's movie.
I don't think Taika knows it yet. That's why.
That's true.
He's gearing up for Love and Thunder right now. They like everything is
It's-
Thor right now, and he's like, you
Yeah,
know,
but working
But
on
yeah,
the script, isn't it?
Thor's coming out in a month.
Yeah.
Or a month and a half. It's like
Yeah,
yeah,
if
but
it
that's
was-
also when you do the most public.
Yeah, but-
That's when you do the most media and
Yeah, but
and all this stuff.
this is
for it.
this is like the problem. Like they hire these people to write stories before they know what the stories are. Like Taika had to pitch something. You can't just say, you think Lucasfilm just went to him and said, we want you to work on something? Go. Maybe
Yeah,
they
that's
did.
They want to do, but
That's what they did with Patty. What do you want to do? My dad was a pilot. Can we do a Rogue Squadron? Sure, Patty. Let's do that.
That's such a bad
I don't
way.
think that's the case, though. I don't think that's the truth.
That is, no,
I think that's what happened.
I
don't
honestly,
think so.
I honestly believe in Rogue Squadron's case. Yeah, I really think I wouldn't be surprised. They're like,
They wanted her so bad. They're like, listen, whatever you want to do. What do you like? What do you like in Star Wars?
I don't
that
think
you'd
so
like to do?"
because now we know that there's a big creative differences going on. The word
Yeah,
on the
well,
street is that it really comes down because it's going to be post Rise of Skywalker.
we don't know that. We hope
Taika-
that's true.
No, it's not confirmed. But it is. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I know that because we know now that there's creative issues going on. There's creative differences and stuff, and so it seems like Lucasfilm has
It's
a specific
Rejwan's fault.
It very well,
Rejwan's
could, yeah,
fault.
no, it very well could be because it could be what I'm thinking is Lucasfilm has a specific direction they're wanting to go post Rise of Skywalker, and that my conspiracy, this is just a guess, is that Rogue Squadron is going to be the kickstart of that, right? It's going to kick things off for that, and then you'll get like a show or
Not anymore.
because Kathleen Kennedy said that she wants to get out of the Skywalker saga. She said that
And
in
then-
that Vanity Fair, and
Yeah, but in the Vanity Fair, they also
Do you
said
want
that
my
it looked
theory?
like Taika is coming out first.
yeah, it is.
You want
coming
my theory?
first.
Yes, it means Rogue Squadron's not going to be the thing that sets off the new era, unless Taika's is completely
Taika's
unrelated.
The show
Rejwan. No, but like by new era, I mean post Rise of Skywalker. Era.
Yeah,
Taika's
The
in
show
after-
Rejwan was very invested in the sequel trilogy.
Yeah.
Okay. And not only invested in it, but I think it was just a personal thing with her that she really enjoys that direction. Okay. And with the movies, that's where she wants to go. And then we know what happened, obviously, with the movies and all the drama that happened over the years, you know, when it comes to Star Wars. Then we get this new stuff with Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. And they see this resurgence in the love of Star Wars storytelling through these shows, which is a bit of a departure from the sequel trilogy, but it's not like completely throwing all the way back to, you know, original trilogy. It's that kind of nice
You've got
middle
plenty
road.
of sequel connections
You know what I mean?
there. Yeah.
Right. You have a nice middle road, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and I really think she's like, nah, fuck that shit. This is what we're doing. I want to keep going with this. And I think
Michelle?
that's where that tension, yeah. And I think that's where that tension that you're talking about, this kind of like internal.
I think I don't think she has that kind of. I don't think she has that much.
Oh, the
say.
movie she does. The only one above her is Kathleen.
Yeah.
On the movie side, the only one above
And you
her
know,
is Kathleen
Kathleen's
Kennedy.
going to be on her side because
Yeah.
it's their movies at the end of the day. They're not going to ignore them. You know, you're very well could be right. I think that's. I genuinely think that's where a lot of the creative differences are coming. I think Patty wants to do her own unique story, and I think Lucasfilm's like, no, we need these specific aspects in here because it's going to kick off. I've also got like people speculating that he kind of is up to Wonder Woman 3. Because we know that Wonder Woman 1984 was not well received whatsoever, and
awful.
Lucasfilm
Just like Game of Thrones season,
well, yeah,
the last
yeah.
season of Game of Thrones.
that
Just like
Colin
the Last
Trevorrow,
Jedi.
Colin Trevorrow made that really poorly
yeah.
received
I
movie
make-
right before he's supposed to make Episode 9, and
make-
then
I make these jokes with my friends, and it's so funny. Like every time they announce a director, they release something that's wildly unpopular. If you really think about it, honestly, the most well-liked thing. So let's talk about this. First, they announced that Colin Trevorrow was doing Episode 9. Then he released a movie, The Book of Henry, which supposedly was awful. That's like the only one that's on the small scale. Then you have Rian Johnson. Oh, he's getting a trilogy. The Last Jedi comes out. Then you have Benioff and Weiss. Oh, they're getting their own series. Then Game of Thrones Season 8 comes out. Now you have Patty Jenkins' New York Squadron. And then Wonder Woman 84 comes out. I honestly think of all those, I don't know. Game of Thrones Season 8 was 100%
That's the
disliked by
worst
everyone.
one.
What do you think?
The thing with Weiss
Yes.
and Benioff, though, is they are charlatans. They're really not as talented as people think they are. It was all. I'm serious. They pulled
I
a
know
wool
you-
over HBO's eyes, and so I think with that we actually dodged a bullet. We dodged a bullet with them not bringing them on.
Yeah.
Patty Jenkins is still a good director.
Agreed.
I know Wonder Woman wasn't great, but you know what?
her first one was pretty
The
good.
woman still knows. Yeah, the woman still knows what she's doing. Okay, so just because that movie wasn't as well received doesn't mean she sucks all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Trevorrow, I still think Trevorrow is a good director. Yeah, that was a stinker, the movie, but it doesn't mean he suddenly is no good. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
But so for me, the only bullet that we dodged, I believe, was Weiss and Benioff. That was good that we got
Yeah,
rid
that's
of
fair. That's fair.
It's just this. Next thing you know, watch Thor: Love and Thunder be awful. And it's like, and it's like,
trailer-
oh,
the trailer-
and
Fuck
now it's
Taika.
like, oh, now we got to cut Taika too.
The
It's
trailer didn't do it for me. I'm gonna be honest. I'm kind of worried. The trailer was.
I'm looking forward to it.
I love Thor. I just the jokes in that trailer were so bad. It made me like cringe so many. I don't know, man.
I like Taika's humor, so I'm. looking
I
forward
like Taika, but maybe I'm just kind of
his stuff just makes me giggles. Listen,
Oh,
opening
yeah, I
the
love
trailer
him,
with Korg and him telling that story, it's a space Viking.
Oh yeah,
He saved Earth like 500 times. It made me chuckle immediately.
500 times.
Like, this is great.
I like the self-awareness, you know.
Yeah. It looks good. And I'm hearing these whole theories about that it could be this whole Love and Thunder story may not just be this whole Jane story, that because there's a lot of elements in the newer Marvel comic books that are happening right now that could actually tie into this that they didn't tell us. Like there's this character that was from the Spawn universe actually that Marvel ended up getting because of a very complicated lawsuit with McFarlane and the Miracle Man stuff and Marvel Man stuff. But it's a character called Angela, which in the comic books are introducing as this long lost sister of Thor's from another universe. So they're talking about her, talking about maybe there's this new storyline going on right now in the Thor comic books where you find out that Freya actually wasn't Thor's mom, the Phoenix Force was, and they are bringing back mutants. So there could be a whole bunch of revelations in this movie that no one's expecting. Or it could just be straight up what we see, what we get. But there could be a whole bunch of stuff
is
happening.
this
to
is
us.
this
I'm
Star
kinda
Wars?
excited to see it. No, well, Star Wars adjacent because it's Disney and it's Taika.
I don't know. I zoned out.
Guys,
whenever
you
we were
know-
talking
you know
about Marvel
what's-
comic books. I'll be
You know what?
honest.
You know what's the next major announcement we're probably gonna get in these next few days? The
What's that?
Lego Star Wars Summer Vacation.
Thank you guys for joining us for this episode of Chatooine.
You know, we're gonna get that. There's
Well,
there's our
let me
there's
tell
our
you
post episode
guys-
9 story.
Let me tell you guys what Mando Plus is. It's a subscription extension on Disney Plus. The reason is because the Star Wars Mandoverse shows have been consistently their most popular on a episode by episode basis. It's gained them like the most subscribers. So Mando Plus is a subscription upgrade for when they announce like 10 more Mandoverse series directed and produced by Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni with CGI Luke and all of them.
And we
Extra
can't get that. We can't
extra
get that on
$5.99
Disney
a
Plus.
month.
Why?
Extra $5.99 a month. Yay! Because we know now from that they're cutting the budget of Star Wars and Marvel shows a little bit on
They
Disney
are?
Plus. Mm-hmm.
Why?
They're cutting
Isn't
it by
that profitable?
Because they're not making money yet. Disney Plus is not making the money yet. They haven't
What?
they haven't extended their margins. Nope. They're spending
Yeah,
too
but
much.
they will make it with Mando, and they will make it with Kenobi.
No, it's not even about that because the subscription is a consistent basis thing. So that subscription, you're not just paying for
There's
Kenobi.
people
You're paying.
who cancel it.
You're
There's people who cancel it
Sure.
and resubscribe when
Sure.
Mando comes back out.
Sure, that's why now they're doing an ad-supported feature and stuff. So you're paying for a consistent basis, not just for Kenobi, but you're also paying
Right.
for all the other, however many shows they're doing for
Really?
Marvel, Star Wars, and all the other stuff.
They have Marvel and Star Wars. That's what Disney Plus is. For people who don't have,
That's true.
like I heard for families who have like young kids, like Disney Plus is great. But for most people, it's probably going to be Marvel and Star Wars.
Mhm.
And you never know, maybe Willow takes off and becomes this next
Doubt it.
great thing.
But yeah, they're cutting the budget a little bit. So I'm
unfortunate.
wondering if that kind of had to do with Rangers of the New Republic being cut. I'm wondering if they're having to slice down on shows because their budgets are being
I did not hear about this.
changed a bit. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, but
remember
when Netflix struggling, would now be the time to cut budgets on your shows? Netflix is struggling. You could like
Netflix
honestly
is struggling,
double their
but
profit.
but Disney Plus is Marvel and Star Wars.
I just looked up Disney Plus shows budget cuts, and it's just like I don't see anything on there.
Let me.
Fake news.
No,
Couple
it's
memes,
real.
fake
It's
news.
real.
If there's anyone, yeah, he's the one who tweeted us the Andor trailer. That was a fan made one. Before the real
Okay,
one.
I
See?
didn't even
Fake
watch it,
news.
guys. Look, okay, and
really
then the real
normal.
thing came out a few hours later. Okay,
Someone does
bro, I
not-
was pissed. I was
someone
hyped. I
does
was
not
like,
check
no
his
way.
sources.
Palpa
true,
memes in DMs like, guys, I'm telling you, it's the greatest thing ever. Just watch
gonna
it.
be
I'm telling you,
huge.
it's
It's
the
gonna be
real.
huge.
It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be huge.
Bro, you read a Babylon B article. Boom. Hollywood Reporter, Business Digital. Disney trims $1 billion in content spend amid drive for streaming profits. Boom. They still have a $32 billion budget, so they cut it by $1 billion. Wasn't like
Okay, I bet you they're cutting a lot of shit. Like the who's the guy from?
no. If I remember correctly, the article specifically said that Marvel and Star Wars are the main thing. Yeah, they're cutting down Marvel and Star Wars for more original shows, so they're changing their format a little bit. Specifically says this in this Hollywood Reporter article. I'll send it.
Well,
in,
they said 4 more original shows. It's not because they're not making profit.
I'll send it in the thing.
I'll send it in the
Interesting.
thing.
Very, very interesting things. I don't know. Let me double check the source.
Yeah, 2.5 years after launch, Disney appears to be closing in on its long-stated goal for Disney Plus, making it profitable. So I'm not sure if it's clear or not. I don't want to read this entire article. I know we're in the middle of
Interesting.
the stream, but
Yeah. Well, do we have any other like serious topics we want to discuss here?
I don't.
I think that's it.
So.
That's all we
Yeah,
had, I believe.
You guys didn't seem too interested in the Lego Star Wars summer stuff.
man.
That's
it
all we
was,
have left is other Star Wars celebration news, which is Lego Star Wars, which I
Some
don't think anyone
books.
cared about.
Oh,
Yeah, wasn't there some High Republic stuff with the books?
yeah, a few.
Because I
A
didn't read any of
few.
that.
I'm
You have
not
the skinny
super
on that?
into them.
Well, Goldman's more into them than you are. I know that.
Yeah. Well, I'm not into the High Republic.
I am technically too. I just haven't. I've been out of it for the last couple months, so looking at much.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we can wrap this up. We have anything else?
I think we're good with that. Celebration's still going on. Our boys out there right now. And I think that's all we have for this week. We should be coming back next week, and I'm sure he'll give us. Sure, Star Wars Only we'll have a nice roundup show for Star Wars Celebration next week on Chatooine.
Probably. And we have to discuss when we're going to cover the Obi-Wan stuff.
Yeah. So the Obi-Wan stuff, we got to figure out what we're doing. I know we're all kind of watching it independently tonight or tomorrow, and we'll talk about it more on the next Chatooine for sure.
All right.
When we come back for that one. So thank you guys for joining us. Please remember in the description there's the links for my channel, the Goldman channels, and Palpami's channel as well as the link for the Star Wars books in the description. The Insight Editions, use code Star Wars Saga to get 15% off of your order. That's all in the description as well. So thank you guys again. And until next time, how does he sign off? I forgot how he signs off.
I don't remember either.
I use mine. Until next time, so say we all.
Wow.